If your house had been broken into, it's likely that the last person you want to meet would be the person who entered your space and stole your possessions. Yet, when Bristol student Sarah Edwards was offered the chance to meet the crack addict who burgled her home, she didn't hesitate.
I was burgled and they came into my bedroom, and that's why it was mainly my stuff that was nicked. So it's a bit worse than just somebody coming into your kitchen and taking something. They've actually been in the place where I sleep, so I just want to kind of put a human face on them, really, give it some closure.
All of Sarah's university coursework, together with all her precious family photographs, were on her stolen laptop. Her life was completely disrupted by the burglary, and she's incredibly nervous about coming face to face with the burglar, who we are calling Sam. He's been held in Bristol prison.
Have you been into Bristol before?
Nope, it's not my usual place to hang out.
Sarah's driver is PC Nick Hughes, who runs Bristol Prison's Restorative Justice Scheme. He's doing his best to reassure her about going inside the walls.
So I'm not going to pass lots of offenders?
No, the closest you'll get will be probably about 10 yards from a high fence where they're doing exercise. You know, they're walking around on the inside. Hopefully you won't find it too daunting, a process actually going into the prison.
What's about to happen could change Sarah's life. Restorative justice is a clumsy name for a very delicate operation to bring together victim and offender.
The point of it is, firstly, to give victims greater satisfaction and a chance to, I think confront's the wrong word, but to meet their offenders and to talk through the impact of the crime, to actually put across to the offender how deeply they've been affected by the crime. For the offender, it can be a powerful blocker to reoffending.
They're getting very close to the prison now, and Sarah's naturally concerned about her personal safety.
Why is there not going to be a table between us? And will he be cuffed?
He won't be cuffed, and no table because it's just seen as a bit of a barrier, and the idea is that the body language is quite an important part of this. So if there's any obstructions in the way, that can kind of interfere with the process. So, are you happy with that?
Yeah, I just, it's always quite scary if they were to get violent, or I know it's sort of unheard of, but
yeah, it's unheard of,
with a table you have something to, you know.
Yeah.
What Sarah doesn't realise is that Sam, the man who broke into her home to raise money for drugs, is feeling even more anxious.
Nervous. And just, I don't really know, just to see their point of view, I suppose. Never done this before, so I really don't know.
Sam's already been sentenced to 2.5 years for a series of burglaries, including Sarah's home.
If I ever went back onto drugs, and I don't go to like if I went to a burglar house, I would like there'd be something in my head like this little echo to say, listen, don't do no burglaries.
Outside the prison, Sarah's beginning to have second thoughts.
I'm feeling very nervous. I'm really scared he's going to be some big, scary offender.
He's convinced me that they're the right reasons, so...
Okay, I'll believe you.
Yeah, we'll have to go with that.
We'll see whether Nick's faith is justified later in the programme. Sarah Edwards' home was burgled last year. Today, she's going to meet one of the men involved. He wants to explain why he did it, and she wants an apology.
I feel nervous, but I don't want him to know that I'm nervous.
Oh, here he is. He just walks through now.
That's weird hearing his voice and not seeing the face.
Can you just sit in that seat there for me, please? We're here to discuss the burglary that happened at your home address in Fish Ponds back on the 5th of November. The idea is that we have a civilised discussion about that and all try and keep emotions relatively in check. It's quite an emotional experience.
First, Sam tells about the day he and another addict burgled Sarah's home.
Knocked the door, there's no answer, so we walked round the side and tried the door and it opened, and we just went in, and we was having a look around, and just picked the laptop up, I think, with a bag and a change jar, couple of bits and bobs, like, and then we left, and then we took a bike that was locked to the post, and then we just rid off with the stuff.
Why did you think it was okay to go in and take things?
I don't know why. It's not okay, is it, really? But I suppose because I was on drugs, I wasn't really thinking, just, you know, one frame of mind, really, just trying to get some money to buy drugs.
Did you ever consider the effect it would have?
Well, not at the time, no, now I do, but not at the time because, like I said, I was on drugs and I stole off my mum and dad. So if I stole off them, I'm gonna surely do something to someone who I don't know.
Sarah needs to know what would have happened if she'd been in at the time.
I'd probably try and run off, I suppose.
Nick asks whether Sam understands how Sarah had been affected.
Probably, like, mentally, like, might be scared to go back into her house. Like, people's gone through her stuff, took her stuff. I don't really know because it never happened to me.
Sam's passiveness is beginning to upset Sarah.
Well, I think you can do whatever the hell you want to yourself, but when it starts to affect other people, then it becomes a real issue.
Time to hear from Sarah about what she found when she returned home. The irony is that she's describing somewhere that's familiar to Sam.
You know when you walk straight in and I've got that cabinet and that had been sort of almost broken off and open, and then it began to clock that actually that wasn't me, and then I started to look around and it took a good few hours for me to realise absolutely everything that had gone because I was just in shock. I just couldn't believe somebody had been in it because it's my room, it's my bedroom. So when you say affected me mentally, yeah, you're right. I didn't want to go in there, and if I was to go in there, I just wanted to clean. I wanted to clean, reclaim my room. And obviously my laptop has all of my notes that I've worked so hard in my degree to put together, all of the photos that I've taken from my family when I was younger. Same with my camera. That camera had been around everywhere with me. And that coin jar, as little money as there was in there, I live off of that at the end of the month. I'm a student. So again, that's why I wanted to meet you, was just to put a human face on you so that, you know, I don't think you're going to come back and be this monster who takes away my room and my things and affected me in my life.
2 months after the event, it's affected Sarah's outlook.
I already have a dim view on humanity because, as most people will, because people hurt us through life, but that's just made it worse. It confirms how bad people can be.
Sam explains his plans to stay away from his old haunts once he's released.
My family is what I'm hurting, do you know what I mean? Let alone victims. And I just don't want to put everyone else back in that situation again, really. So I'm going to try and go out of Bristol, stay drug-free, get back into, like, work, plastering, and go on a weekend down to my mum's and, like, just slowly do it like that.
Yeah, I think if you're doing something that you don't want your family to know about, it's probably, chances are it's going to be really wrong.
Yeah.
So family's a good thing to stick around.
Yeah, definitely.
Nick has drawn up a pledge for Sam to try to stay clean and away from his old habits. But there's one important thing left to say.
But, yeah, I just hope we don't get burgled again, and I'm sorry.
Sarah's looking a little happier, and she has no more questions.
The only thing was going to be an apology, but you just gave me an apology. So I've heard how you did it, which has answered the questions. You've put a human face on it, you've shown remorse, and you've given me an apology, as well as what you're going to do in the future. So I do forgive you.
Thanks.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
I know it's hard.
So I think, you know, that's everything that there is to say. Thank you both very much. Hopefully the nerves are over now. and it's a process that you're both glad that you went through and something that you feel you can take something away from.
Were you really nervous before it?
Yeah, definitely.
I heard you sort of go when you came in, and I went, ah!
He was more nervous than I was, which immediately made me feel less nervous. And the fact that he was almost shaking, well, he was shaking when he sat down. And when I said that I might be jobless, he actually started to well up. I didn't want to show any emotion in front of him, because obviously he's somebody who's wronged me. You don't want to. So I had to have a little cry afterwards. But you could see with him, he was the uncomfortable one. I was able to relax. He said that his mum being disappointed in him, and I saw his face, and that's a really good thing. And once he realised, oh, she wants me to say sorry, he sort of kept saying it. So, yeah, very, very genuine.
Good luck.
I needed to forgive, and I think he needed to be forgiven. He fulfilled all the steps. I mean, he can't really do anything more. You can't turn back time. He's done everything that he can.